Hello, my name is Diana, also known as Anchesenamon Sims, and welcome to my simful life. Before I discovered The Sims, I was, the average girl growing up in a small town. And first it was my older sister and I, Esther, who's 2 years older than I am. And then later, when I was almost 4, my parents moved to another town and we had another sister, Audrey, who's 4 years younger than I am. So I'm the typical middle child, I guess. And the three of us, we went to the local primary school, same school as most of the kids in our neighborhood went to. My dad was a headmaster in one of the other primary schools in town, and my mum worked at an office. So I don't know, growing up we just loved watching films. We liked playing together. We got into mischief together, had fights, obviously. That's what sisters do. We have fights, especially about clothes and whatnot. And I always liked to draw and do creative stuff. And then when I was in my teens, I started wearing lots of black, and I started dyeing my hair black, and I turned into this weird thing, which I basically still am. I haven't really changed that much from my teenage years. And I went to college in a city nearby, so I didn't really move out until after I finished college. And then I decided to live together with my boyfriend, and that is actually when I discovered The Sims. I was just hooked on the game immediately. I just loved everything about it, but especially building houses. And then Sims 2 came around, and I discovered the site Bosques Sims, and I was invited to build houses for that site, which I greatly enjoyed, because it was the first time I actually worked on projects together with people from other parts of the world. We created stories together and houses and all that kind of stuff, which I really enjoyed. But then after college, I obviously, I got a job. I got a job as a teacher. Then I got married. We have 2 wonderful sons, Rick and Sam. And, I didn't have that much time for The Sims anymore, obviously, because work was very busy. Having young children was very busy and quite hectic at times. And then, when Sam was only 4 years old, I decided to go back to school again to study English, just because I wanted to. I just kept playing The Sims on and off all those years, and I have always basically been a builder. But then about 10 years ago, I became chronically ill, and I'm not going to talk too much about that because, that's just what it is. But I had to quit my job, and that is when The Sims really started to change my life also outside the game. That's when The Sims became basically quintessential for my life. And I know quintessential is quite a big word, but that is what the game is to me, because it actually has taught me a lot, and it has had a very positive influence on my life outside the game as well. Because after I quit my job, I started to play the game more and more, and I joined a few Facebook groups, and I started building houses on request, and people really seemed to enjoy those houses. That actually made me feel quite good about myself again. And in one of the Facebook groups I joined, we did a very silly challenge where we had to kidnap as many clowns as possible and lock them up in a basement. And it was such a fun challenge. But that was also the first time I actually recorded the Sims, and I started my YouTube channel. And the whole clown kidnapping thing later became a theme in my Alien Let's Play, where my evil aliens, Zax, kidnap a whole bunch of humans, turn them into clowns and lock them up in the basement. So I guess maybe in a way the game has helped me to deal with my fear of clowns, although not really, because I still don't like them very much. But one of the things the game has definitely taught me is how to edit videos. I was never really interested in videos at first, but once I started doing my videos for YouTube, I became more interested in video editing, and I tried a few programs because I wanted my videos to become better and better. And I do think if you watch my very first video and my last one, you definitely see a big difference. And I started to study architecture a bit because I wanted to be able to build different kinds of houses. I started doing speed builds, stop motion speed builds. There were just a whole bunch of new techniques that I learned, and I greatly enjoyed doing. I still greatly enjoyed doing all of that. And I always seem to be creating Sims who are artistic and who love to draw. And that actually got me back into drawing myself. And I'm very glad that it did, because now actually I have my little art studio up in the attic where I do lots of drawing and paintings again, and that is definitely also because of The Sims. Another thing that I've always enjoyed doing is reading, and I've always loved to tell stories. I always had all these stories running in my mind, and now with The Sims I can sort of share those stories via my Let's Plays or the short videos that I make, and I think that's a huge enrichment of my life. The Sims has made me realise that I am far more creative than I ever thought I was, and I'm very happy that I did, because it has given me far more confidence. And people in the community, which is actually a wonderful community, I have to say, really seem to enjoy what I do. And even though I'm still a very small fish in a very big pond, people are getting to know me in the Sims community, and people seem to appreciate me, which obviously makes me feel good about myself again. And I'm very grateful for that. And I've also made quite a few really good friends within the community that I don't just talk about The Sims with, but all kinds of things in life. So overall, The Sims is just very important in my life. It has definitely made me enjoy life more. It has got me back to being creative. It has taught me a lot, and I'm just very happy for the game. So that was my Simful life. Thank you very much for watching.